Okay, hi Softa. Okay.
Hello, Alex.
The video is starting. Wait.
Cool it, babe. Don't do that, because
No,
we waste time with this.
No, I needed to get ready. I'm gonna get ready.
Okay.
Okay. Today is Sunday, April 27th, 2025. My name is Alex Sverd. I am an 8th grader here at BCHA. I'm an 8th grader at Bicultural Hebrew Academy of Connecticut. I will be interviewing my Softa, whose name is Chaya, and about her life and legacy. This interview is being recorded for the oral history collection for the Jewish Historical Society of Fairway County's archives, as well as our family archives. Over the next 15 minutes or so, I'll ask you questions that will help me learn more about you and our family's history, especially our Jewish history. If you can't answer a question, just say so, and we can move on to the next question. Also, if you would rather not answer a question for any reason, just tell me that. I want this to be fun and for you to feel comfortable at all times. Are you ready?
Yes, I am, dear.
Let's start by telling me your full name.
My full Hebrew name is Chaya Rosa Spitzer.
Okay. Who are you named after, if you know?
Chaya, Rosa are both after my two grandmothers. My mother's mother and my father's mother.
Mm-hmm. Do you know do you have a Hebrew name, and what does it mean?
Well, my Hebrew name is Chaya, is in Hebrew, and Rosa is also Hebrew.
What's it mean?
It means a rose, Shoshana.
Mm-hmm. In this class, I've learned about immigration of Jews to the U.S. or other places. Do you know where your parents, our family migrated from?
Well, my father was born and grew up in Satu Mare, Romania. And my mother was born and grew up in Brezna, Czechoslovakia. This is both before World War II.
Okay.
And
yep.
That's where they were born and they grew up. And they met after the war.
Okay, that's really good information. Before they immigrated to the United States, did they talk about what their life was like before they left? Do you have any stories from your Jewish life before you came here?
Yes. First, my parents, they met after the war, and they got married and they lived in Romania, in Satu Mare. And afterwards, when the communists started to come into Romania, they fled Romania, and 3 months later, they met in Paris, where both my mother's brothers and sister and my father's brother, they made up to meet in a certain place in Paris. I was a year and a half when we got to Paris, and my brother was born in Paris. And we lived there for a year.
Okay.
And from there, we went to Israel.
Okay,
And there are different stories in Europe, both for my mother's family and both for my father's family, and different stories of how they lived and their grandparents and my mother's grandparents. That means my great-grandparents. My great-grandfather lived with my mother.
Yeah, did your parents or anyone else in your family experience or get affected by the Holocaust or its programs? How so?
Definitely. My mother and her sister and her parents and her younger brother were taken to a ghetto. They were there for about 6 months, and after that they were taken to the camps, to many camps. My grandparents were taken straight to the gas chambers, and my mother, her sister, her younger brother, and her another brother were in the camps, and my mother ended up being in many camps, in
Okay.
Auschwitz, in Buchenwald, and on the death march. There are a lot in all these camps. My mother worked in Auschwitz in the infirmary for a Dr. Gisela Pearl, who worked for Mengele.
Okay,
the
that's
biggest
really
Nazi
good
doctor.
information.
And my father in Romania, his mother, sister, husband, and 2 children, his wife and a child. My father was married before the war and he had a little boy. They were also killed, and my father was in a work camp. So after the war, he had a home to come home to where my mother didn't. So, and then they were introduced, they got married, and but they did suffer through all the Holocaust, all the wars that it continued on. Wasn't an easy life.
Yeah. Can you tell me something about how your family... Can you tell me anything about our family's immigration to the United States?
We lived in Israel, and for whatever reason, my parents wanted to leave Israel, and they wanted to go to Canada, because my father's brother lived in Canada, and at that time you had to be able to have someone sponsor you into the country and take care of you till you were able to earn money to live on your own. But the Canadian government did not give us a visa. So then my parents had to apply to the American government, and my mother had 2 brothers here. They sponsored my mother. She came here she left Israel on Yom Ha'atzmaut, Israel's Independence Day, on a ship, and she left my father, myself, and my 2 brothers in Israel. And then she sponsored us, and we came here in September 10th, 1958. So, but it took over 5 years to be able to get a visa to come, to be able to leave Israel and to come here. It wasn't as easy as it is today. And there was but you had to have people sponsor you, get you a job, get you things. There were no services, no social services to help you.
This is great background, thank you. Now I'd like you to take out your item that you brought to talk to us about.
Yes.
Do
you see it?
Yes, I see. It's candlesticks. They're very beautiful.
Yes.
What is the artifact? Can you tell me about it?
Yes. These 2 when my mother tells me the story is when they were taken from the Knesset, from the synagogue, when they told them to go home and pack things up because they're going to take them someplace, which was the ghetto originally. They couldn't take a lot of things with them. So they used to, my mother was very good with sewing, so she used to sew things into the coats and into the clothes, into the linings. But some things they tried to hide in the house, in the basement, like behind the bricks and stones. When my uncle, who was not there, he was in hiding, after my mother, her sister, and my grandparents were taken to the ghetto, my uncle came into the house. Everything was gone, anything of value, but he found these 2 candlesticks in the hole in the wall. These were my grandmother's candlesticks that she lit every Friday. So he took them. He had them all these years, and we knew he had them, but his wife never used them. So when his wife passed away, he gave it to my mother, and then give it to me, because I am the first Chaya named after my grandmother. So my mother used to take it here, live them in Florida all the time. And when she passed, she made sure, she motioned to me that they're mine. I knew they're mine because I'm the first Chaya. So I light my regular candlesticks that I have the five, Grandpa, myself, and my three children, plus these two candlesticks. I light them every Friday night.
How old is it, and where did it come from?
How old is what? The candlesticks?
Yeah.
Well, I have to think by the years. If it was my mother, your great grandmother, Bobby Laiku, she was born in 1918, so she would have been now 107. Now these were her mothers, so you're talking, I was at least 150 to 200 years, because I don't know where my grandmother got them from.
And where did it come from?
They lived in Czechoslovakia, so it's in Europe. I don't know where they were made. I don't think I see anything underneath. But I had a friend, when I moved to Florida, a friend came here once for Friday night dinner, and he looks and he says, those two candlesticks are very old. They're from Europe. And I said, how do you know? And he said, because his family were in the silver candlestick business in Europe many years ago. So he knew about it. He knew the style.
Now, I'd like to ask you a few questions about your life growing up. Where did you grow up, and who lived with you while you grew up?
And what? Where did I grow up, and where?
Where did you grow up, and who lived with you?
Well, I was born in Romania, in Satu Mare, in Romania. And as I said, from there, we lived in Paris for a year, Israel for 8 years. I came to America with my parents when I was 11 years old, September 1958. We lived in Crown Heights for 4 years in a small apartment, and I had my mother, my father, and my two brothers, Eddie and Ellie. And then we moved into Brooklyn to Borough Park, and again, we just all lived together as a family till I got married in 1966.
Okay. What was life like? Tell me something about school life, and who was your favorite teacher or subject?
Okay. Life in Israel was very different than life in America. Life in Israel, most of the time, you were outdoors, you played outdoors, you made up things. I used to make up plays and skits and perform them for the parents, not just myself, my friends. So we used to put up a rope and put sheets or curtains over the rope and make like a whole show. And I love to do that. So, because I like this acting and these things. So we did that. Then we played outdoors most of the time. In America, I did not speak a word of English when I came here at the age of 11. I started 6th grade, and you have to adjust. And we lived in Crown Heights, and I went to, of course, the Hebrew school, Bet Yaakov, in high school also. And life was very different here. You know, my parents had to work to make ends meet, and everybody had a job in the house too. You know, all of us had chores in the house. And whether Friday night, my parents after the meal would go for a walk, and my brothers and I would clear the table, wash the dishes, wipe the dishes, sing Hebrew songs. That's like Friday night. But during the week, everybody had something to do. My job, you want to hear what my job was? And I didn't like it. I had to iron. At that time, we ironed a lot. And when school finished in June, before I could go play with my friends or go to the beach, my father made sure that I had to finish my ironing all the time, and I never liked it.
Did you go to synagogue?
Of course, yes, we were religious. Shomer Shabbat, we went. We did not go Friday night, but we went on Shabbat. And Shabbat afternoon, we went to Benot, which means the girls' groups, same as you have in your synagogue where you have the groups in the morning or the afternoon. I was even a counselor in the afternoons for two different organizations, which was nice. That's how you meet friends and you have a good time.
When you were a teenager, did you have a bat mitzvah?
No. I had a birthday party when I was 12. Don't forget, I came to America, I was 11. So the following August, we had a birthday party in Bridgeport, Connecticut by my uncle, my mother's brother. And they lived there. So when we went there for the weekend, they made me a birthday party. But there was no bat mitzvah party and nothing what they have today. Or nothing what your mother had either.
What was most meaningful to you about it?
About bat mitzvah, for me, nothing. Because I had just school friends. It wasn't friends I grew up with. And it wasn't, there was no major meaning at that time. It was a birthday.
Yeah. Now I'd like to ask you. Now I'd like you to pick your favorite Jewish holiday and describe it. Describe how you and your family celebrated it when you were a child.
When we were a child, favorite holiday? Well, most of the time in Israel also, but also here in America, my parents' house was a place where family got together all the time. Whether they were religious or whether they're not religious, they always used to come to my parents' house. Whether for the meal or the Seder or Saturday night, Melava Malka, Saturday night thing. So there was never a thing as there's no room. Whether for sleeping or for eating, everybody pitched in, helped out. So it was a family thing because we didn't have many family. I grew up with no grandparents. So we used to, quote, adopt older people as if they were our grandparents, both in Israel and when I came to America. So the families were very cherished. It was very important to keep family together.
Okay. Now I'd like to talk to you. Now I'd like to talk about our family traditions. My favorite is making hamantaschens for Purim and lighting Shabbat candles with my mom.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. What's yours?
Favorite? I make hamantaschen at least a week or 10 days before Purim because Grandpa, my husband, loves to eat it. And with the lekvar, with the prune butter. So I make it a good week or 10 days before. And I make him nice, small, and thin. And he'll always go to the cookie jar. And he said, I'll taste it again, I'll taste it. He's always tasting it instead of saying, I'm going to eat one. So I enjoy baking for the family. So whatever it is, I try to bake something that involves the holidays, including Pesach. I cook things that my mother used to cook. The Passover noodles, different kind of things like that. And you celebrate through food.
Oh, I like that. Did anyone in your family serve in the military?
My father in Europe was in the Romanian military before the war, before World War II. I even someplace have a picture of him. He's on a horse, a military horse. But and then in Israel, my father was, even though he was older, he didn't serve as a fighting soldier, but he went into the army and he was helping as an older person. He was helping in the kitchen and helping in the fire department of the army. But that's about it. I was too young to serve in Israel because I was only 11. And that's it. Now I have a son-in-law in the army and I have a granddaughter who's an officer of search and rescue in the Israeli army.
How did you meet
She is your cousin.
I know. How did you meet my grandpa?
How did I meet Grandpa? I was 16. he was 18. I guess through friends and in Brooklyn and Borough Park on the street. And he saw me, I saw him. I knew his mother because his mother knew my mother. That's how I met him, through friends.
Got it. Very good friends you have.
Yes, they do.
What did you do to make a living in your adult life?
What did I do? Well, I went to college, and then later on, I was teaching. First, I was teaching, while I was still in college, I was teaching in Jericho Jewish Center in Long Island. I was teaching in Hebrew school. And then later on, I used to be a permanent substitute in Yeshiva HaTorah in Queens, Long Island, Belrose. And I was like the permanent substitute, because the kids, they loved me because I controlled the class and we had fun. Mm-hmm. So I did that, and then I helped Grandpa with developing a vacation village up in the country. These are all year-round communities, observant Jewish communities up in the mountains.
Now we're gonna go to warm up with one more question.
Okay.
To wrap up, wrap up with one more question.
Okay.
What advice do you have for the future generations like me and my siblings?
Advice. Number one, I really feel that today we should always learn to respect another person. Even if we could disagree, but you don't have to fight about it. Mm-hmm. So respect the next person, because everybody has their own opinions and they see life through different eyes.
Yeah.
So there's a phrase in Hebrew, Dan lechav zchut. You should always judge the next person for the good. It's easy to say bad things about somebody, but it's harder to say they're good people. So always judge them for better, and it makes you feel better for it. Mm-hmm. And for you and my other grandchildren, just be true to yourself. Be true to yourself. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay?
Thank you for doing this with me. Thank you a lot. I loved spending time with you.
It's my pleasure.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I love it. And thank you. Hope it works out. And when you finish editing, doing it, I hope to see it. We'll keep a copy of it at home.
Yeah.
So I could see it.
Okay? Love you.
I love you.
Bye.
Take care.